You said you haven't shaved. I haven't shaved in 10,000 years. I was thinking, what if we did like the Basement Boys? Did they do it? I don't know if they actually
along?
did it. A shave along? No, not a shave along. A wax.
Oh.
I want to wax my legs. I don't feel like shaving.
Like a professional?
I was thinking about going somewhere and getting it professionally done and just one and done it for the summer. Hopefully. Is that not a thing?
Maybe you could get away with it.
No. How often do people do it?
Well, I don't know. I've never
done it, so I don't know how often they do it.
You know what I don't understand?
Someone leave a comment. How often do people usually have to get their legs waxed if they do it regularly?
I want to say less than a month.
What?
That's what
No. The whole point of waxing is that it takes it from the root and it's supposed to keep it from...
I would give myself 2 weeks, I think. Oh, I got to make sure people can see that I'm wearing pants. I have pants on.
Nah. But I was thinking, what if we did that if I got what?
If we vlog a wax or if we do it at home?
Both.
Both?
I don't know what you mean.
Like, are we doing our own wax or are we like going somewhere and like video recording it?
No, that's obnoxious. No.
But isn't that what they did?
I don't know.
They didn't DIY it. They went to a professional.
Yeah, but they were more professionally based to be able to get away with doing that. We are not.
This is a little makeshift.
Yeah, we're not. While we like to talk about us being professionals and everything, we are not
You
actually
gotta fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
No, yes, no.
I give myself 2 weeks, I think.
Would you be
willing?
But
you know what? Yeah, sure.
Cool.
I've never done... I don't think I'll care. Like, I don't think it'll hurt. I think I'll be good.
I have a ridiculous pain tolerance when I'm prepared.
Yeah, I think it's not a big deal. What are your thoughts on sugar waxing?
Bull.
Right?
Absolute bull.
Yeah, thank you.
No, that's one of those like TikTok trends that just like buy this and try that.
Well, I've tried making it and it just it didn't do anything.
No.
I also don't understand when people say that waxing lasts longer than tweezing. I'm talking about eyebrows now. Why? Isn't it the same thing?
Yes and no. It depends on how you're tweezing. If you tweeze it down to the root and if you look at the end of the hair and it has like the root, the little bobble root kind of thing, then you're going to be good to go. The only problem with tweezing versus waxing is because of the waxing, it coats the hair more completely, and therefore when it rips, it doesn't tear the hair. Hey.
I got you.
Yeah, tweezing usually just rips the hair in half.
I would say I normally do get the root. It's those dumb, like, clear hairs that break.
Mm-hmm.
But the big, thick, black ones, it's like, it hurts so bad.
If you can get the whole little, I forget what it's called.
The follicle?
There it is.
That's just the hair, though, isn't it?
No.
Hair follicle?
The follicle is, I think, I could be wrong. I could be talking about my
Isn't
butt.
that the
Probably
root?
am. The root, or like the follicle, is the thing that it sits in.
Yeah.
The root of the hair is
gross. It grosses me out so bad.
Yeah.
Whatever that follicle is made of, it is the stickiest substance known to man.
You know what I
sticks
love?
On my face, sticks in the sink.
Is so messed up.
Oh God, are we getting gross already?
No, it's just not something that should really. This is embarrassing. You know what? It's not embarrassing.
Do it.
There's no reason for it to be embarrassing, so I'm not going to be embarrassed about it. Therefore, we're just going to talk about it. So I have one little...
Yes, we've talked about this before.
Actually, I have two, but this one's not as bad. I have one right here that the hair is a little bit thicker, a little bit stiffer, and so I love when I pluck it out
and just look at it.
And it's on the end of the tweezer, and I like... just to feel that
touch
it's
it?
different. Yeah, I touch it.
Oh.
I touch it. I am not going to be embarrassed about this.
No, that's totally, I understand it.
It's 100% valid. People know what I'm talking about. Do you look at the tissue?
Like after I poop? Are we talking about poop? What are we talking about?
Your nose.
We're not talking about poop?
No, I was thinking, do you look at the tissue after you blow your nose to look at all the snot?
I don't think so.
You have to think about that? You don't know whether you do or not?
I don't blow my nose often.
Oh,
because I hate it. I hate the sensation. I've been a sniffer since I was a little kid. My parents would get so mad at me.
Yeah.
Because I would just sniff all day and they'd be like, blow your nose.
Yeah.
Get it out. Please.
Yeah, I can't stand that. And I had to do that at church the other day because I'm sitting there, could not breathe. My sinuses were so plugged up. I actually dipped early. I had something to give to our assistant pastor, and I was like, I can't stay here and wait. And I know it was just me, and I was frustrated, but it seemed like the pastor was talking slower and slower and slower. And I was like, I need to go. I need this service to be over so I can go and get an actual breath. I could not breathe.
Yeah.
And of course, because my nose was like running because it never freaking stops, that's
the most overstimulating thing is like not being able to breathe.
Yeah.
Or like having a runny nose.
It was all I could think about. I wasn't
can't
listening to
function.
the sermon at all. I didn't catch a single word of it because I'm just thinking, please say,
wrap it up.
It was just, oh my gosh. And I was like, it was so frustrating. But anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm trying not to like full on, this is gross, but I didn't want to do that.
Sometimes
in the
you
middle of church,
gotta.
but it's so
Sometimes
quiet.
you gotta.
And so you had to do like the little quiet one, and that drives me crazy too.
Sometimes you gotta hit a big one and you gotta like
hawk it down the back.
hawk it down.
Yeah. No, I do that.
Sometimes you just gotta do it. You gotta embrace it.
I do that to irritate my mom,
Ooh.
and it works every time.
That
feels
sometimes
good,
it's
though.
just what you need. It's just what you need sometimes.
It feels good when you can clear that out. And no, I
hate being sick. I hate the thought of this.
it's not sick, it's allergies. It's just
Well,
straight up
it happens
allergies.
when I'm sick too, when I get like mucusy and then I just gotta, it won't come out this way, so I just gotta digest it at that point.
I enjoy the times when you blow your nose and it actually clears things up. If you're blowing your nose but your sinuses are just clogged and it doesn't actually clear anything,
I hate when you're
irritating.
blowing past the booger. Like you can tell it's like vibrating in your sinuses.
That's disgusting.
And then you just have to hit a really hard one and then you just hear it clear out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Disgusting.
But going back, I don't.
Don't look.
I don't look.
I said I didn't. You didn't believe me.
No, no, it's not that. You had to think about it. That's what I
I
was
don't
surprised.
know. I don't think I do. Nah.
You don't think you do? That's
No,
again,
I don't
that's
think
so
so.
weird to me that you either do or do not know. That's not something
If
you have to think about.
If I think I have a sinus infection, which happens every other month, I will look to see if it's green because that usually is an indicator.
I've never had one, so
Man, God, you've never had a nosebleed either.
no. You know what I was thinking about the other day? I was thinking about that because I was like, I don't know if I've ever not had a nosebleed because I'm so aggressive with my
I'm aggressive.
grossness.
I think I just got a lot of blood vessels at the surface. Speaking of sinus infections, you know Barbara O'Neill?
No.
You don't know that lady with the accent who like knows all the remedies and like
Yes.
her?
Yeah.
She said that over prescription of antibiotics is like a really big issue. It's really bad for you. She said it's like it should be like life-saving. Like you should maybe be prescribed a round of antibiotics like twice in your life. I've definitely been on antibiotics more than 10 times in my life.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's
well, they
really
also
bad.
say that when you have a fever, it's better to just let it go instead of taking medication. Unless it's dangerously high, don't take medication.
That's what I'm learning is like when you're taking medication to kind of like relieve symptoms and your body doesn't know that there's an issue to relieve.
The whole point of a fever is to quite literally burn out the what are they called?
That's why we're sick for so long.
Viruses and everything. Yeah. No, it's better to let it run its course because your body is purposely increasing its temperature to burn that out. If you're lowering your temperature, then it's just all accumulating still in your body and it takes longer to clear it out. So the last time I had a little bit of a fever, I let it run its course as long as I could, but it was the aches that, I could not sleep. I'm like, it was so painful that I had to take something. Turns out it was just a fibromyalgia flare up and it wasn't even me being sick. So I was like, that was pointless. So that was frustrating. But, do you know Leo Skeppy?
No.
Yes, you do. I think I sent you.
Okay.
I sent you a TikTok of him.
Is that the recent one with the teeth?
The fun guy.
With the cigarette teeth?
Yeah.
I do know him. He's on a lot of podcasts, isn't he? I feel like I'm always seeing him on like a podcast or something. He's so funny.
I don't listen to the podcast. I haven't listened to the podcast yet.
I just see clips of him.
I've seen clips of the podcast he's done, and he is so funny.
He is funny.
The way he films his videos is like a FaceTime kind of thing, and you feel like you're on the adventures with him. He's just so fun. And I don't know what he does, but like,
I love his voice. I don't know why. It's like very satisfying.
But he is. I've made a couple comments on different videos just because I cannot get over it. But he is the live action Ronan Lynch. For anybody who knows who Ronan Lynch is, please comment that you
Who
know
is
the
that?
books. It's a
A
character
book?
from a book series that I absolutely love. He is Ronan Lynch. And it's so, oh my gosh, I cannot get over it. He is Ronan Lynch. It's not just, he doesn't just look like him or act like, he is Ronan Lynch. Driving me crazy. I need someone who knows.
So you're commenting that and he's like,
I've commented it twice on 2 videos that was just so apparent that I was like, oh my God, this is Ronan Lynch. I've commented twice, but because of the fandom versus, that's like the book talk side of things, he is not the book talk side of things. So nobody in his comments probably know who Ronan Lynch is.
Yeah.
So there's no engagement on my comments or anything like that, which is fine. Speaking of that, TikTok needs to work on its notifications.
On so many things.
I don't care about who is posting on Lemonade. I don't even have. Hey, how you doing?
I'm sick of the lemon. Do you want to join or are you going to go sunbathe? Okay.
Nice. Good choice.
I hate the lemonade. Oh my God, I just hit my own tooth. I hate the lemonade ads.
I
don't
even
care about it.
I don't follow anybody that I don't care.
Oh, but you mean like when it gives you a notification and you think it's like a TikTok notification, you click on it and it's just taking you to download Lemonade?
No, not that. At the bottom I see I have a notification, so I go to it.
Yeah.
And it says this person posted on Lemonade. Check it out. Like,
no, that in Threads.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
And I went through my settings on TikTok and I turned off literally every option of notifications, and it still gets me.
Yeah, I did the same for like, yes. Okay. Do you need us? You need us to move though.
We're behind her car. My keys are right here.
She goes, then I won't.
No, you probably should. You could vacuum mine out.
I vacuumed mine yesterday. Yeah. Sorry. Bye.
No, I'm excited. Today it would be the perfect day for me to clean out my car. The best day of the year, hands down, is the first day where it's warm enough for me to clean my car inside.
That's what I did yesterday.
Yesterday was still a little.
It was
cool
a little chilly.
For me. Yeah.
I mean, I was in my pajamas as usual, but
today is the day. But it's a little bit cooler in Kaz, so it makes a difference. If I was here, I absolutely would do it today. I think in Kaz it's a little bit cooler. So
yeah, if you're here, if you're just like standing in the sun for a second, you get warm.
Yeah.
It's great though.
It's really nice.
I love it.
I am living for the sunshine. Yeah, but no, I love Leo Skeppy. I'm having so much fun. I'm like scrolling through TikTok, waiting just for him to come up. I don't know why I don't just go to his page and like watch everything, but I like the finding him in the wild kind of thing.
Yeah, I always just like see clips of him, but I don't like really know him. He reminds me of like Heath and Yep.
What?
Heath from like the David Dobrik videos, like the podcast that he has. It reminds me of that.
I don't know. Remember who Heath is? I used to watch David Dobrik.
Me too, heavily.
Yeah. Who else did you watch? I don't want to. You know what?
We did this one day. Remember we like pulled up all those YouTube videos?
Oh, yeah. See, I don't want to comment who I used to watch. I'm embarrassed of my YouTube.
You're embarrassed? I mean, we know that I used to watch Cody Ko.
Yeah.
Now it's whatever.
I can't remember the one guy's name that I used to watch. What is his name? I'm not going to say it because it was embarrassing.
Okay. I liked Brent Rivera, his Vines. Oh my gosh.
I'll put myself on blast, though. I will admit, I was obsessed with Jake Paul videos.
With Jake Paul?
Yeah.
I would not see that from you because even when he was big, when I was like 14, I was like, this sucks.
I don't know what I was intrigued about. It almost like, I don't even remember any of his videos. It was just quite literally like an addiction hit because it was daily videos. And I would wait for that notification.
What were they even about?
I don't remember. I don't think I was actually watching it for the content. I was just like watching it for the dopamine hit of that daily thing. It was like a comfort thing.
From what I understand is that his videos are very dopamine intensive.
I think it was. I don't remember a single video. I don't remember anything.
I never watched either of them. Him or Logan.
No, that's actually kind of freaking me out.
That you don't remember
I don't
the
remember
content of any of them? I
Not
just
a
remember
one.
someone showing me like the songs that he used to make. Like they weren't like songs, but they were like parody, like dumb songs, and I was like, he's annoying. He's really annoying.
What parody song?
Like the Kentucky Fried Chicken one or whatever. Ohio Fried Chicken or whatever it was.
Good Lord. I
got my truck, my overalls, making fried chicken, y'all, or something like that. And I was like, this sucks.
I did get I'm not a merch person. I got an Ohio something shirt because he's from Ohio.
Oh, maybe that's what that song is. Yeah.
I don't. This is, oh my gosh, this is freaking me
I
out.
never watched Jake Paul, so
This is
I'm
actually
safe
freaking
there.
me out.
I did watch David Dobrik. Who else did I watch?
I used to watch this guy named Nathan?
Nathan.
Something?
Nathan
And again,
something.
he was an Every Other Day poster.
That's so much.
And I think it was genuinely just an addiction. It was that constant comfort of like knowing this is happening.
Man,
I'm losing my mind.
maybe.
Anyway, we're gonna have to change the subject because it's freaking me out.
Okay.
I want to watch Bluey.
Okay. Yeah, I've never watched it.
I think I'm missing out. I think we're missing out on some kind of phenomenon here because I keep seeing people talk about it, like like adults talking
Yes.
about the lore and the theories of Bluey. And I'm
I
like, the
just
parents are
watched-
more invested than the children, 100%.
I just watched this little girl with like a prosthetic eye, and she got one that has Bluey in it. Like instead of a pupil, it's Bluey.
Oh my God, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Pulled my own hair. Yeah, I think I need to watch that. I literally just said I was addicted to YouTube videos and blah blah blah, and
Let's
now I'm gonna get
addicted to
myself
something else.
addicted to Bluey. But everyone says it's a great show, so I think it'll be okay. I don't watch much
Maybe.
TV, so I think little spurts of Bluey.
Did you watch Squid Games?
No.
I started like first couple episodes. It seems good. I'm not like invested in it though.
Not my show. Not my kind of show. I watched Freedom Riders.
Oh yeah,
What the movie I bought the other day.
how was that?
Fantastic.
Good.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I cried through the whole thing. It was so good. It was so good.
Of course you did.
What else? I've been on a huge movie kick. I've been watching a lot. I watched Puss in Boots twice in a row. 2 days in a row.
I can't escape that movie. Okay, I know I mentioned.
Why would you want to?
It's just so funny how like how much it's just taken over my world. Like,
What does that sound?
I think it's the leaf sucker
Yes,
or
yes,
like
it
the
is.
tree,
The truck.
the branch sucker.
Yeah.
Just one night, Eric and I were like, don't know what to watch. Scrolling through Netflix. Oh, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Click. And I'm like on the edge of my seat. I'm like, that was actually really good. Like, John Mulaney's in it for some reason. And then it just keeps popping up, and I just figured that
It
nobody-
latches
it
onto
just
your
seems
soul.
like the kind of thing that I would watch as a kid. Like I would get it from the library, and nobody else in the world knows about it or has seen it because it's like a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off.
Yeah, yeah.
But my professor keeps bringing it up in class. We keep talking about it here. The cashier at the place was like, I love that movie.
Yeah. The guy we were checking out with, I was buying, I had a stack of
Stop.
DVDs, and he specifically said, I've seen that. That's a good movie.
Oh my gosh.
But that's the thing. I'm like, you insisted that I watch it. Like, I never saw it until...
It's really good.
I still haven't even seen the first one. Is the first one
No, I
good?
mean,
There's Puss in Boots. The original Puss in Boots. I am Poosh.
I think I've seen it maybe a long, long time ago. I
It's
don't
just
remember.
talking
I
about like
couldn't
his
tell you.
origins and everything, I think. But I haven't seen that one. I wanted to get it as well, but couldn't find that one. We did. Okay, so
I'm not big in the spin-offs. I don't know.
I actually am. I actually really liked the spin-offs of like the Vampire Diaries, that show. Yeah, I liked the Vampire Diaries, and then the spin-off there was Legacies, and but that was the second spin-off. The first spin-off was the originals. So good.
Did you watch
So good.
My Babysitter's a Vampire?
That I think was a little after my time.
Yeah. I watched it in middle school. I recently watched the movie and
there's a movie?
Still love it. Yeah, so it was like one of those things where it's like a movie first and then there's a TV show. So I watched the movie.
Yeah.
I've been watching just clips of Drake and Josh and Full House on TikTok. My whole TikTok is just clips of Full House and Drake and Josh. And I love it. I did watch like a couple full episodes of Drake and Josh. I do love that show.
I try not to engage too much with like the television clip shows and everything because I'm like, I've already seen this show. I don't need to rewatch it in half clips.
I will rewatch the same clip. It comes up. I'm like, I'm quoting the whole thing because I just saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Is there a secondary access to your upstairs?
No.
Did I miss you walking back up at some point? I need committed.
I always wish there was secondary access because it feels like if you just went around that way, there'd be another staircase, but there's not.
I think I need committed.
What do you mean?
I'm losing my mind. I totally missed that. Huh?
To the bin?
Yeah.
We can make that happen.
Oh my
We'll vlog
it. That's concerning. I need to. You know what? I was up till
You're
3 o'clock.
Puss in Boots.
I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning 2 nights ago, and then 1 o'clock last night.
Why?
Reading.
Yeah, I should have guessed.
Actually, I've gotten off of my reading kick. I'm not reading a whole lot right now, just because the book series that I'm currently reading, I had a hard time getting into it, so I kept putting it off, and then finally the second book. The first book was good. Don't get me wrong, but just something about it, I didn't click with it. But then the second book, halfway through something clicked and I was like, oh, this is actually so good. And I had to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning to finish it. And then last night I was up till 1 o'clock reading the third book. I'm halfway through that. So it was really good. Only problem is now I don't have the fourth book. It hasn't come out yet. And now I'm going to finish this one and it's going to be a cliffhanger and I'm going to be not happy. Sunrise on the Reaping came out. I bought that day it came out, but I haven't read it yet. So I need to do that. I haven't read Songbirds and Snakes, but I saw the movie. So sorry, rambling. Your turn.
Books. I found my Wattpad is still up from high school.
Wattpad?
Yes.
Nah, AO3, baby. That's where it's at. AO3 all the way. I saw someone
take that down.
Someone on TikTok had a tattoo of AO3, the little logo of AO3. I was like, that's legit. That is legit.
That's crazy.
What else was I thinking? I love Leo Skeppy. Now I just want to sit and watch a bunch of his videos. Oh my gosh. Hey, also, random transition. I went to Burger King the other day because I live off of Burger King apparently. And
it's good.
It's so good. Oh my gosh. I only ever get one thing there and it's literally my death row meal. But can we please stop putting the change on top of the bills?
I don't do that.
I don't do it. Thank you. It drives me.
Do you want to see what I do? Here's what I do. Because I don't know how I learned to do this when I first became a cashier because maybe I watched someone do it and I was like, oh, that's a better way to do that. Because I remember at first fumbling, what do I hand them first? I hate when people hand me the change on top. It always falls somewhere.
Well, that's you're doing this weird balancing act until you can retract it in and
yes. So I do change first, wait for them to take that, and then I do bills with the receipt underneath.
Yep.
And I do it in two hands so that they can take it with one hand. So it'll be 1724 change, and then I go like this.
Yeah.
And I hold it out totally flat so they can just grab it.
Yeah. One hand grab it.
Yes.
Do the claw. Yeah.
I don't know if people like that.
Well, you know what I think it is happening? I think people put the change on top of the dollars because in their head, or if maybe they say it out like, here's your change, it's $7.32. $7.32. And it just happens in that order. But no, put the change in the palm first.
That's what
so I can clamp the change, even if it's all one-handed, I can clamp the change and then I can pinch the dollars.
Or sometimes people put their change fully away before and then I'm just standing there like this, but I don't mind.
That would actually make my life a lot more convenient and waiting for the change to be put away first, because then the change is on top of the bills, then you're fumbling around with it, you drop a couple, then you got to pick it up, and then you got to put it away, then you got to fumble with the bills. People just put the change in the hand first.
That's what I do. I also try not to make people feel rushed. So although I am holding the bills waiting for them, I'll like look away
Yeah.
so they don't feel rushed. Or like I'll like kind of relax the like say I go to hand it out and then I see that they're putting the change away. I'll be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I don't want them to feel
I
rushed,
usually,
or with just a receipt or whatever it is.
when I used to work in retail, I would sometimes like fumble with something, make it look like I was concerned about
that's a good
something
idea.
else, so they didn't feel like they were being watched and like waited
Yeah,
on.
I'll just like stare at my computer screen or like look at the ceiling.
I would
or
like
something.
pretend to like push a couple buttons and like
I pretend to push buttons all the time. I pretend, okay, sorry if you're a customer or like anybody in the world listening. I pretend so much. Sometimes if I just don't want to deal with somebody, like, I'm like, do you have a rewards like card, like phone number? Be like, yes, it's da 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 567. And I type it in and I don't see one. Sometimes if I have a line or if I don't care, I'll just be like, okay, this is your total. And I totally didn't find the rewards at all.
you know.
Like nothing comes up. They'll be like, did you find it? I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I just don't feel like going through a back and forth right now because here's how it's going to go. And I do this 99% of the time, but sometimes if I have a line or if like the person can't hear me very well, it's usually like it's like an older person that can't hear me very well and I don't feel like being like, could it be a different number? Like what?
I literally had to stand
just say that
behind
I found
someone
it.
at the cafe. It's okay. Here's the thing. At the Barnes & Noble cafe, the membership card that you get is a discount savings of 10% every time, everywhere you go, whatever you do. You cannot. It's not a Starbucks. They sell Starbucks products, but it's not Starbucks. You can't use the app or anything. It's only the membership. So people are looking up their Barnes & Noble memberships, and they're looking it up by their phone number. And same thing. I had to sit behind someone who went through like 16 different phone numbers until they found it.
Yep.
And I'm like, at some point, the 10% ain't worth it.
No, yeah, that's why sometimes I'll just be like, all right, here's your total.
Well, I'm like, just give up, man. After like the third or fourth number, do everyone in the world a service and just don't. Although you might want to be careful with that because if you're not doing your job, you just kind of put yourself on blast and that's not good.
It's very rare. It is only in like extreme circumstances, but
what's the reward system?
It's not a discount. It's like a points thing.
I don't know, man.
But okay, if it's
the
like
last time I went to B-Dubs with a group of people, they have a point system there, and 6 of the people were just like watching their app, waiting for the points to load. They were waiting for those points.
It's not like that. It's like say they've got like $1.75 of something. That means that they got. No, never mind. Why did I choose to do math? You get 10 points for every dollar, and every 2,500 points is $5 off.
What?
So, are we stressing about it or no?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I guess it also depends on how much they're spending. I mean, if you're spending $500,
If they're spending $500, I will ask them if they want to sign up, which I don't normally do. But I'm like,
but
if
they already have the
oh, for sure, I'll find it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, if they're an old person, they're buying a candy bar, they can't hear me, they just rattle off this phone number. I'm like, I'll save us both the stress.
I had people come when I was working at Books A Million, and we had to sell membership cards. It was 10% off of everything, and so when you're buying something, you get the 10% off that purchase.
Yeah.
Which technically it would just take the cost of the card because it was like $25 or whatever for the membership card. But anyway, somebody was coming up around Christmas. They had $250, $300 worth of stuff.
Mm.
I did not give them the option. Because
That's
like we get credit, or not credit, but like we have to sell a certain amount of memberships and everything. So when that price dropped and I saw that they were literally going to get the membership for free because they spent $250, the membership's only $250, which means 10% off, obviously $25. Anyway.
Yes.
I didn't give them, like I said, I was just like, listen, the membership, I'm going to sign you up for it. Just give me the information. Literally did not give them the option. I was like, I'm getting this credit for selling a membership and you're getting 10% off. Deal with it.
I'm supposed to ask every customer, but I like to be real, and I don't like when people ask me if I want to sign up.
I had also someone, again, doing my job. I was like, okay, do you have the membership card? didn't say a word, dropped the whole handful of stuff they had and walked out. And I'm like,
Well,
you come to Books A Million, you know that this is a part of my job. You know it's going to happen every time.
People take it personally, and they think that it's not my job. I just want to say that sometimes, because people will be like, it's 25 cents. And I'm like, I got to ask everybody. Like, what do you think? I chose that?
Well, my other thing is, if you're coming into this store often enough to get irritated by how often we have to ask you the card, sign up because it's probably worth it for you.
Yeah.
If you know the spiel better than I do, it would be worth it for you. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb, folks.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's not hard to calculate whether or not this card is going to be worth it for you. It's so easy to know whether or not a membership. People are dumb. And
I've got one that I don't understand why people do. I think I've said this before, but every time it happens, which is very often, I literally just stand there and I'm like, why? So I'll be like, do you have a phone number with us? And the person goes, no. 315-123-4567. And so I type it in. And I'm like, yeah, I don't see one. Did you want to sign up? No. Why did you tell me your phone number?
Oh my giddy aunt.
It happens maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Why did you tell me your phone number?
I have less than no patience with unreasonable, ridiculous people.
Why did you tell me your phone number?
Oh my gosh.
Why did you tell me it? I don't get it. I mean, really, I want to ask someone because it happens so often. Why did you tell me your phone number? I get that some people are like, I'm not sure. Could you check? And then they give me and then you don't have it. Do you have one? No. Here's my phone number. Did you want to sign up? No. Okay.
I really think we need to, Leo Skeppy said it, bring back bullying. We need to bring back bullying in person. I'm not talking about cyberbullying. We need to bully one another in the moment and have people be aware. I also think people need a swift kick in the teeth every now and then.
I can't kick people.
And a nice right hook.
I just genuinely want to ask someone, be like, okay, you see how you just told me your phone number? Why did you do that?
Let's talk through this moment to find the common sense.
What was the point? I don't get it. Yo, some lady annoyed me so, and I know I have a poor tolerance, and I'm never mean to people. I'm always very nice, but I get annoyed in my head really easily. And she just annoyed me so bad because we have like some months we have this promotion. It's not every month, but like, for example, for the month of March, we have this promotion where you can buy a $50 gift card and for free you get a $10 gift card.
It's for free. So I said, sure.
What?
You don't know that quote?
It's for free. What?
It's for free. So I said, sure.
No, what is that from? Is that a Vine?
Pitch Perfect.
No, I've never seen Pitch Perfect.
Break my heart.
So, of course, there's a limit on this promotion. Each customer can get 2 $50 gift cards, thus getting 2 free $10 gift cards. Limit 2 per customer. It says it on the ad.
Now, if the person gets it, leaves, come back.
Well, this is what this lady was asking me about. She was like, so is that limit 2 per customer or 2 per day? And I'm like, 2 per customer. Okay. What if I come in later and I'm wearing a hat? And I'm like, I mean, I just don't think I'm like supposed to. I'm like trying to blame it on like the system, you know? I'm like, this is higher than me or whatever. This is above me. I don't think I'm supposed to. She's like, what if I come in after your shift ends? What time do you leave? And I'm like, well, I close. So I'm like, you come back tomorrow. So she leaves, thought about it in the parking lot, I guess. Comes back in, buys 2, leaves, comes back later with her husband. He buys 2. She's like, honey, put a mask on. They'll never know. I'm like, why do you want me to get in trouble?
That's the thing. I'm like people are so self-consumed that they don't even think for a second that ends up blowing back on other people.
Yeah.
Like, your actions do not have consequences only for you. Like,
she's
you
like, I
affect
guess I'll have
other
to come
people.
back with 6 friends. And I'm like, do that.
I'm so irritated. Oh my gosh.
Why do you need so much free money?
I have 0 patience for ridiculous, unbelievable people. I don't know.
I just hate when someone's like, oh, just please this one time. Like, why do you want me to get fired?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
really?
We seriously need to start calling people out in the moment. You know? Like we were talking about earlier, you know, the customer is always right when it comes to taste. That's it. That's the only time. every other time you are in the wrong usually because you don't know how this system works.
Yeah.
And then also, I think we just need to hold everybody a little bit more accountable. And it's one of those things where you know how you're not supposed to punish a dog after like too long after the fact because their memory isn't long enough, then it's completely
they
pointless.
won't associate it.
I feel like that's also with people. I feel like we need to reprimand them in the moment so they can associate what they've done wrong with the moment. Because if you wait too long and then you bring it up, they're just going to be defensive about it and they're not going to remember the actual moment. Like, no, I think we need to.
Yeah.
I think in the moment.
Have you seen that lady? I think her name's Mariana, and she does skits on TikTok of like she works at like a Mexican restaurant or something, and she has I think it's made up, but it's like called Purge Day, and it's like, have you seen that?
Yes,
I want to do that.
100% agree. 100%. And I also we need to match energy. Match energy with your customer.
She's like, what if I come back later and I'm wearing a hat? I just want to be like, shut up!
No,
oh
I
my
wish.
gosh!
I really wish like America would get rid of its tipping culture just so we can give people back the same energy. If you want good service, you need to be a good customer. You know? Because unfortunately, garbage customers can come in and treat their waitresses and waiters with absolute garbage disrespect, but then the waiter has to be okay with that because their livelihood literally depends on that. And I really wish America could get rid of the culture, at least for like a day or two or something, like the purge day, a couple days where it's not dependent on tipping culture because some people need to be put in their place. Some people need a check on how to actually function in public. I need that.
A lot of people come into the store and they forget that it's a hardware store, and then they're like disappointed when I don't have like ribbon to wrap their stuff in. I'm like, do you carry incense? This is a hardware store. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I get some weird ones.
This edge, more and more, I'm just like, yeah, I want to be a hobbit. Every day of my life just reaffirms my desire to be a hobbit.
Yeah.
Actually, hobbits are rather social creatures. I want a hermit. That's it.
No,
not
hermit.
a hobbit. I want to be a hermit.
Hermit
you
crab.
know, I forget his name, but there was some story of this guy who just literally up and left.
Society?
Irish goodbye life, which I actually heard Irish goodbye is not nice.
It's not nice.
Irish goodbye is apparently offensive in some capacity because real Irish people do the same thing like an ASL goodbye. Like constant, like, oh, we're saying goodbye here, we're saying goodbye here, we're saying goodbye at the door.
So where did this come from?
I saw a couple different theories, one of which was not good because it was some like war related thing.
Okay.
And then also I also saw that it was related to the fact that during some historical moment, like it was too hard. Like during wartime or something, people were leaving and it was too hard to say goodbye knowing that it was like literally
so they would just Irish
they would just
like
leave.
just not wow.
Yeah. So someone fact checked me on that because obviously did not do a great job describing any of that.
Instead call it a Mary Grace goodbye.
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually someone Irish. We have Irish a follower, at least one.
Yeah.
Please comment.
Let us know.
Like we're always open to learning new things and like bettering ourselves, I guess. I laugh. That was just a weird way of putting it. But no, like I do really want to learn. I saw someone said it was offensive and I just want to be able to more understand that and the history behind it. Anyway, moving on. What were we saying?
I was gonna say something I don't remember, and then I remembered it, and then I forgot it again.
I rambled too much.
Irish goodbye. Before that was Purge.
Putting people in their place.
Oh, I was gonna say, have I told you about the customer that I have every once in a while? And I say, do you have a rewards phone number with us? And he says, I don't have a phone.
Oh yeah.
And then he just cackles, and he's absolutely insane. I love him. I love him. I think he's so funny.
You're a better person than I. I need to meet this person though because
how do you not have? It's so impressive. You need it for everything. You need it to park downtown.
Yeah. No, it's quite literally ingrained in our lives. We have to have it.
I love it. I love like slipping through the cracks like that.
I remember. I mean, I was 21. I think when I got my first smartphone.
Smartphone.
I mean, I started my business on like a little slide keyboard phone. No internet access, no
That's
nothing
crazy.
like that. So definitely, I remember having to find ways. And my biggest thing is, how did I get anywhere without GPS? I'd be at the bottom of a lake if I didn't have my GPS.
When I was a kid, I obviously couldn't drive, but my dad always had like the actual GPS machine like in the car. Like,
well, I planned a whole trip on an atlas. Like, I know how to use maps and everything.
Wow.
I planned an entire trip from Ohio to Florida with an atlas, and it wasn't just a straight shot. We were taking, we were taking different scenic routes and everything. Like, we were really doing it, and I did the whole thing.
I never had to do that.
The one time we got lost was when we used a GPS to find our specific hotel.
Yeah.
Someone put one of my friends put in the wrong address. But no, I did the whole trip on an atlas, and I know how to do that. And I mean, I do remember the days of having to get on to Google Maps on the home computer and printing the directions out.
Yes, my parents did that.
I always had to do that, and I do remember those days. But the chaos nowadays, the speed at which you have to, like, it comes up so quickly.
Of the GPS, you mean?
No, of the directions now. I mean, before, when I had printed out directions, I mean, I was literally like looking at the directions and like every moment. It was so tense because I knew I could not miss my turn.
Oh yeah, because I don't even know what you do then.
Yeah, because so nowadays when you obviously everybody knows GPS reroutes, you're good to go. I never fear because I can get lost as many times as I need to, and it will always get me back where I need.
Mm-hmm.
Did not have that option, and so I'm like, how did I survive?
Yes, I remember one time my dad got lost and him flipping through the printed out map of the directions.
The other issue is I have a generally pretty good sense of direction.
I don't.
It's just a matter of that the roads don't go where I need them to go. Like, I have to follow the roads, not the road following where I want to go in the direction I need to go. I remember before I had my phone, before I had my GPS, I had to take some kind of detour. I was trying to get out of my aunt's driveway and something happened with the road. I had to take a specific detour, and I was like, okay, well, this neighborhood should connect with this road over here in my head.
But it didn't.
It didn't. So I'm going through this neighborhood. I'm waiting for it to connect to the other side of the road, the two roads on parallel sides, and it never did. And so I got myself really lost because I didn't have GPS to show me that it did not, in fact, connect. And so I'm like wandering around this neighborhood. I'm like, how did I...
Horrifying.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know. Blows my mind that I made it this far in life.
You want to talk about our little driving fiasco last week?
Wait for it.
Am I going left? Am I going right?
Oh, gosh. I think I really do need committed. I'm losing my mind on all aspects.
No, it was so funny. Are you kidding me?
It was dangerous.
Nobody was coming.
Oh, but it's still...
Danielle almost ran a red light.
Which, unfortunately, I wish I could say didn't happen often, but it happens way too often.
But it wasn't like your green and red confusion, was it? It was like I think you were just looking like for which way we were going to be turning next.
I don't think I saw it. Yeah, I don't think I saw it that time. But no, my issue actually is bad enough that I have had to actually warn my friends that are in the car with me. If it feels like I'm not going to slow down, tell me, because I ain't slowing down.
Make a code. Write it down somewhere on your dash.
On my dashboard.
Green equals go. Red equals stop.
It's not that. Like, I know what they mean, but it's something about some days, if I'm more tired than others, I'll look at a green light.
It'll just confuse the association.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Green means stop. Red means go. Like, I don't know. No, the other problem is stop signs. Like, I'm thinking so much about where we're going, or maybe I'm focused on the conversation.
Oh, yeah. I'll just look right past one.
And it always happens when I have other people in the car because my mind is split on talking to them or thinking about other things. So I have told my friends, if it feels like I'm not going to slow down, you need to tell me because I'm absolutely going to blow a stop sign. I'm going through this red light. It's happening. And
I'm a much better driver alone.
Yeah. And well, that's the other frustrating thing. I think that I had to overcome a lot of my friends thinking I'm a terrible driver, and it's
I know that you're not.
I'm a worse driver with friends because I'm a little bit more distracted because of them.
Yeah.
By myself, phenomenal driver.
I think you're great.
Oh,
you're the only person who does not make me car sick.
Surprisingly enough, considering I almost sent you through the windshield.
Okay, so
please.
We were driving downtown, and no, we were leaving downtown. I was giving you directions, which shouldn't have been the situation to begin with, but.
Well, I was dropping you off somewhere that I didn't know where we were going.
And so she's going through an intersection expecting to, like, turn in it, I guess. And she was like, am I going left? Am I turning? And I was
No, like I said, I don't think I saw it. I straight up did not realize we were going through an intersection. And I was looking at the next light.
Am I going left? Am I going right? And I go, stop. And as we were like, I don't even know how to describe how far into the intersection we were. It was basically
my front end was in the middle of the
half a second too late that you slammed on your brakes, and we just started laughing so hard. It was so
everything
funny.
in the car just like went flying.
Everything.
Including
you
Mary
had
Grace.
Your movies on the floor in front of you.
Yeah, poor Spud.
Poor Spud went
flying.
Got whiplash.
And then I did my movies that I had just purchased had slipped underneath the gas pedal and everything.
What is it called? Depreciated them?
Yeah. They were worth $1. Which I was kind of surprised because they didn't skip. I was thinking they were going to be $1, like the Freedom Riders.
Skip.
They were great.
I wonder if they have some sort of like, vetting that.
They do. I actually tried to sell a bunch of vinyls that I had there, but I was selling old vinyls. Like they weren't brand new or anything, and they had to go through them. And they can't buy old vinyls because they're selling them at a wicked discounted rate anyway. So they're not going to make anything if they have to buy it. So they didn't take any of it other than like 2 of the vinyls that I had purchased new from somewhere else.
Wow.
Yeah. But they do. They have to go through everything.
You got in your pocket.
Fun point. A Benjamin.
What?
A Benjamin.
A Benjamin?
Yeah.
What?
A Benny. I just got out of work.
What?
I got paid in cash.
You're crinkling your pocket. Benjamin? Who? Oh my gosh, she pulls out a hundo.
I'm fingering Benjamin.
Yep, we're naming this episode that. Oh my gosh.
No, we are not. I just got paid. I just got out of work.
That's so funny. That was so funny.
Now.
Benjamin.
I got my back.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
crying and I don't have my blankie.
Sorry. I was just talking about your blankie last night with Eric. He was talking about his blankies. He called them nun-nice.
Oh, that's actually
He
so
goes,
cute.
I call them my nun-nice, short for night-nights.
Oh my god.
But he said that they were like that, like really cold, like fabric. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, I want one now. And I'm like, Danielle's got a blanket, a little blankie.
Okay,
She blows her snot into it.
I'm not complaining. It's fine. But it
Why?
just kind of hit me so weird. Have you ever thought about that? Like, I mean, obviously people do talk about you when you're not around. But hearing you relay to me that you talk about me when I'm not around is so crazy to me. And then it also makes me fearful because how many times have people talked about you when you're not around and it's been, this person's done this and I can't believe she did that. Why would she do it? And it's something bad. Or like they're misunderstanding something and that, they're spreading miscommunication or misinformation about you and you have no control. Oh, I just went into an existential crisis.
Sorry.
All about the 9 eyes.
My bad.
What have you done?
Well, I asked him, I was like, did she have it when you were on the episode? And he was like, no. I was like, oh yeah, she's got this snot green blankie.
My snot rag.
I kind of just trust that if say my friends heard something crazy about me that they would ask me about it first. And I hope that that's what they would do. But you can control it. I don't know. That's one thing I've kind of had to let go of because I know that it's happened. So whatever.
Well, I know I've said it on here before. Like how I want to know who I've been the villain in their story.
But you can't. You can't know everything, and it's like being able to read people's thoughts. It's like you don't want that.
That's harsh. That I don't like that. Anybody that I know that I'm the villain in your story, I'm sorry. Shame on me.
I don't know. I probably am. I'm sorry, unless it was deserved.
I was just thinking about the times that I've been bullied because we were talking about that I am a bully. I'm terrible.
Yes,
but the times that I have been bullied, and I just remember the only time I ever clapped back at a bully, I can't even say she was a bully. She was just a brat, and she was being mean. She wasn't bullying me. Well, she was. Anyway, doesn't matter. Either way, it's obviously no secret. I'm not a small thing. And I was coming off the blacktop. I was coming up the stairs. It was like middle school or something. Middle school, beginning high school. I don't know. Coming up the stairs, and I was in a rush for something. And when you're a bigger girl, bigger chest, it's going to happen. Whatever. I come in, and her and a couple of friends, this girl I was on the bus with, and she just is one of those people who went out of her way to be mean. She's just that type of person. Oh, I couldn't stand her. But I'm coming in, and she's standing there with a couple of friends, and as I walk by her, she's like, oh, jiggle, jiggle. And I'm not a confrontational person, but because I had a history of knowing that this girl was just going out of her way to be mean,
I think.
I whipped back around, and I got right up in her face. And I like to think that whatever I said was cooler than what it probably was, but I was probably just saying, why do you gotta be so mean? And I don't have time, I have no patience for you, and just leave me alone, blah, blah. I wish I would probably said something cooler, but I know I probably didn't. But either way, I'm not a confrontational person, so the fact that I did it in the first place was like kind of crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot wrap my head around that of like just being mean for no other reason.
That's crazy to me.
And she was just mean.
Well, I just feel like, why are you looking? Why do you have the time to be in my business? Why do you care? Are you jealous?
She was like I said, standing with two friends. You know how when you're walking into a store,
freak of the week,
the double door kind of situation, you walk in, you have like a little space and then another set of doors.
Yes.
Her and her two friends were standing in between the two sets of doors. There was no getting around her.
No, what do you call that?
Like a vestibule.
Vestibule. I love that word.
And I'm like, I never understood why those sets of doors were there, because they were literally just doors, and like they were 2 feet away from. But they're like, she's huddled in there with two of her friends. I'm like, you're in the way. I have to walk by you. There's no other way around you.
I think I would have swung, bro. That would make me so mad.
But yeah, I'm like, I just have no. I have no pain. And then I started thinking, because this was actually one of my, what's it called? The daydreaming thing. Maladaptive daydream. I was stuck in one yesterday thinking about if I had a kid in school who's getting picked on.
Yeah.
And my daydream was me being called into the office or something and having to deal with the principal and whoever, dealing with the bully and my kid and this, that, and the other. And just like thinking about what I would do and how I would handle a situation, how I would raise my kid in those kind of situations. I definitely am someone that drill it into my kid's head. You do not throw the first punch.
Yeah.
You don't do it ever. Now, if you have to protect yourself and defend yourself, go full out with it. Don't try to kill, but certainly try to get away. Like, you know what I mean? But then also my other thing is like to deal with more bullying is then I started thinking about the other times I was bullied. I remember in 8th grade, my ex-boyfriend as in we used to hold hands in 1st grade.
That's crazy.
But we were in math class together, and I don't know what the situation was, but he turns to me and he was just like, "Why? Hey Danielle, why did they call you Double D?" Bro, I wish I had double D's back then. They were way bigger than that, but whatever.
Oh my God, that's so inappropriate.
Why do they call you Double D? And I looked him dead in the face, and I just said, because of my initials. And I just stared at him, and I waited. And I waited for him to
do a mic drop and not drop the mic in my other hand.
Good job.
That's so stupid.
But I just stared him dead in the face. I took the wind right out of his sails.
Good.
And I just stared at him, and I waited for him to try and twist it and still make fun of me. He couldn't do it. Yeah. I did not give him the option to do so. And I saw a video one time. It's just like, you just have to take the wind out of their sails. And it is actually so much more satisfying to do that than it is to throw a punch. Because if you're getting picked on and you throw a punch back, then the bully still has the opportunity to twist the narrative in their favor.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was, or they got into a fight and, oh yeah, he's got pointy little elbows and he got a winger. You're still in the worst position in that.
Yeah.
But if you take the wind out of their sails, all they can do is sit there and ruminate in their own ridiculousness. If you throw the punch and everything, if you set the ship on fire and it sinks, they're too busy worrying about the fallout and trying to do damage control than they are actually worrying about what it is they did. And then it's over too quickly. The ship burns and it crashes and everything.
Yeah.
It's over too quickly. But if you take the wind out of their sails and just make them sit in that, brilliant. Because that's an ongoing thing as well.
Yeah.
And I just like the, the best revenge is living a good life. And as hard as that is in the moment to do, I was thinking about that so much. I was just like, no, living your best life, not caring what another person thinks, and them having to live with the fact that they couldn't get to you, they couldn't accomplish their goal of making you miserable. And in that, not only did they not accomplish their goal of making you miserable, but because they couldn't make you miserable, which makes them happy, they're not happy either. It's total lose-lose for them.
Yeah.
And knowing that is just so satisfying. This all sounds very evil and everything, but I'm just saying,
no, I don't think so.
Instead of throwing the punches, instead of trying to go back at them, take the wind out of their sails. I was also thinking the classic, like I said, total daydream. I was really stuck in this one for a long time. I thought about it a lot. I'm rambling. But I was also thinking about like your classic like sitcom bullying situation where like a group of guys comes up to the kid, pushes him against the locker, picking. Just instead of doing anything, deadpan face, look him dead in the face, let him push you around a little bit as long as it doesn't get too ridiculous. Look him dead in the face and like, are you done now?
Yeah.
Can I go to class?
I feel like the less energy you put back, it just shows like how unbothered you are. If you're putting in like a ton of effort, like I feel like it lets them know that they got to you.
Yeah. Because
then that's not the move.
Then they have to put twice as much energy trying to get to you. They're the ones making themselves look like a fool.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm like, just to go for it, man. If you want to pick on me, make yourself look like a fool, do it.
Yeah.
And that was another time. There was another time that a group of guys came over, and again, it was actually an ex-boyfriend of mine, my second grade ex-boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, girl.
A group of his friends came up to me like, "Hey Danielle, John wants to go out with you. Will you go out with John?" And again, there's two ways to handle that situation. That's such a cliche thing.
I hate it.
That's such a cliche thing. Come and ask the fat girl if she wants to go out with a popular guy. But they came over. There's two ways to handle it. Either one, best way, easiest way is to just look them dead in the face and be like, no. Make them feel like the stupid ones, like the audacity that they had to think they could go out with me. Yeah, right. So do that. Or what I did, I was just like, let's see what they do. Let's see. Because they came up, they're like, John wants to go out with you. Yeah, I'll go out with him. Have him come over and ask me himself. And again, dead face, like just look him dead in the face. And what do you do with that? When you're confronted with your own ridiculousness, like how do you handle that kind of thing? And I did. I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll go out with him if he comes over and asks me himself. And then he came over and he was like, it was a joke. I was like, okay, bye. And I just left it at that. And I actually I think I was definitely someone physically that could have been picked on a lot. But because of my absolute lack of care of what other people thought, nobody really did. Actually, I'm not going to give people more credit than what they are due. Our school just didn't bully a whole lot. There was a couple instances, a couple kids who really just had it coming. I'm sorry, but they had it coming. But overall, I didn't really see a whole lot of bullying that was consistent enough to be classified as bullying.
Yeah.
There's, you do something stupid, you get picked on for that moment. And then it's said and done and move on with your life. But no one, I never saw anyone be bullied.
Yeah. Love your nail polish, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to change it up to, I think, bright blue.
I love it.
Not my normal, like my darker royal blue, but like a
bright blue?
Like a teal, brighter blue. I'm thinking, maybe. I don't know.
Do you know the comedian Brad Williams?
I want to say yes. I can't picture a face, but I've heard the name.
He's a little person.
Yes! He's coming here.
Is he?
I think.
He was on Bad Friends, and he just said that like before he ever went to school, like when he was a kid,
his dad rehearsed with him how to clap back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's so awesome.
Yeah. No, I think just maintaining your own dignity is the best form of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would also definitely teach my kids how to defend themselves. Physically defend themselves as well. If it came down to it, you never throw the first punch, but you do what you got to do to protect yourself, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was also, again, thinking how I would handle like the principal or the whole no tolerance, and so your kid's gonna get expelled. I'm like, okay, but my kid was just defending himself. So you expect my kid to just lay down and get the crap beat out of them? I don't think so. And I don't know.
Do you know that story? I doubt that it's a true story, but what's his name? Chris Stefano talking about, I think he beat up a kid and his dad went to the principal's office. He like locked the door behind him. He's like, I'll break your kneecaps if you don't like keep my son in your school or something. Do you know that? That story?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if it's true, but
I'm probably a little bit played up for the story or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I'm like, no, if you're going to sit there and try to expel my kid after he was getting bullied, then we're going to have our little trial, jury, whole thing, judge, jury, and executioner kind of thing. We're going to do that right here, right now, unless you actually want to go to the big courts, because my kid is not going to be punished after he was already being picked on. Not a double whammy punishment. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at the videotapes. We're going to figure it out. We're going to bring in a lip reader if we have to, if there's no audio on this video.
Cameras in schools.
I think I'm a huge believer in body cams on every police officer. And if your body cam is not on, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Literally.
Or if you turn it off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, forget about it.
Fired if you turn it off.
Yeah.
100% body cams on every single police officer. And that is to protect everyone involved. And then also, yes, I think there should be cameras in the hallways of all schools.
I never remember there being cameras in my school at all.
I think the cameras was just always like an empty threat kind of thing. It was just the rumors that there are cameras around, and just like, okay, where?
What do you think about now they're doing this thing where in high schools where, like, I know that, I don't know if I should say it. Whatever. I don't have, okay. CBA started doing it this year, but like public schools are going to do next year where like the kids come into school and they have to put their phone in like that magnetic pouch and like put it up for the day. Thoughts?
I see it. I think that's one of those things that's good in theory, but not in practice.
I don't think it's very safe.
I don't think so.
And
again, good in theory because it would keep the kids focused on their school. It would keep, I know one school said that it has pretty much eliminated fights because they were coordinated, over messaging. Okay, we're going to meet at this time here, blah, blah.
Yes.
Well, you can't coordinate fights if you don't have the coordination to do it.
Yes.
So there are implements of that I agree with, but I think the potential dangers of it also weigh heavily enough to, I don't know. I think there are better ways.
I think that, well, I'll tell you right now that if it was me and I was in high school, you know for a fact I'm putting an old phone in that thing and I'm bringing my real phone with me.
Yeah, there's definitely.
And I'll be on it all day. I think that you should just like, with high school specifically, I think you should just like be reasonable. Be like, okay, you can have your phone on you. If you are on it all day, like if you're on it just for the whole class, that's not okay. But like also make your class engaging. And like if the student has like a free second in between or whatever, they can check like whatever. I think that's reasonable. I think that's like what adults would do like at their job. Like say that you have a second in the day, check your email, go. I don't care. As long as it's not like distracting you from learning. I don't care.
I mean, people will certainly hide that they're checking their phone or being on their phone. It's not like they're just having it out.
Yeah.
You know, I used to do that. I used to sit and watch Supernatural and have it tucked underneath my desk. Like, there's ways to hide it. I think that instead of locking it away, because again, if you don't have access to your phone, if there's emergency,
I would be like fiending though. Like I would be having withdrawals.
I think that if you're walking into a classroom, instead of locking it away, have a section of have a little cubby section where everyone puts their phone. And then if there's an emergency, if you set your phone up there, but if you have a genuine excuse because your family is in the, someone's in the hospital, something or other, well then yeah, put your ringer on or something. Well, maybe not because then people would be blowing up just in general. But if everyone's phones are in a little cubby during class, then nobody's phone will be blowing up because no one's texting them. Shouldn't be, at least. I don't know. There's better ways. I had one teacher do where she would have like sections of the class where like there was different zones for the phone. So be like, okay, this is lecture time. Like we always had our phones on us, but she would ask like, we're not going to use our phones right now. For this part of the class, you're going to be doing research. So go ahead and be on your phone. There's like, phones off, phones optional, phones on, like time of the class. I think I'd like that. Yeah.
I think just be reasonable. I think it's like unreasonable to expect like for them to not be on their phone for the whole day. I think is unreasonable.
But I also would counter, give an inch, they'll take a mile kind of thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, humanity is just not cool enough to be responsible enough with that kind of thing. You have the leeway to use your phone, and people are going to abuse that. 100%, they are going to abuse it. Unfortunately, that's just the society we live in now.
Our school Wi-Fi like blocked Instagram and stuff. Like it wouldn't let you be on it.
Okay.
I would get so mad.
No, I totally.
When I was in high school, I would be so annoyed. I know a lot of people use like VPN or whatever.
Well, I know. Honestly,
it was whatever.
Well, I think maybe something like that. Maybe there's like a jammer or something, because when your phone doesn't have service, you can still call emergency services.
Yeah.
Something like that, maybe. I think phones should be accessible in case of emergencies.
Yeah.
And if those little pouches that lock it away, I just don't think that's smart.
That would give me so much anxiety, I think.
Yeah. You know what? Thinking about that. What did I ever do to make my mom think that I was a dishonest person?
Yeah.
I'm not a liar. I don't recall any time that I've lied about something big enough to warrant being mistrusted.
It might just be because you're the first. No, your brother's older than you.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
And I have no idea.
Okay, I was just thinking about this. That sounded like a very dramatic way of saying that. I don't mean that. Like, my mom trusts me. Like, that. Strike that. That was so overdramatic. No, I was just thinking about the fact that I texted my mom. It was after lunch one day in high school, and I texted my mom. Whatever I ate, it did not sit well with me. I've always had gut issues, but it was bad. The pain was unbearable to the point where I was like actually in my history class right after lunch. I was curled up on the floor rocking, and I was like, I need to go home. And I texted my mom, and I was like, will you please come pick me up? My stomach really hurts. I can't be here anymore. She was like, call an ambulance. She thought I was like, she was being sarcastic. She thought I was lying. She thought I was just trying to get out of school. And I have never, that was my sophomore year or something. Never skipped school.
That's so weird.
Never skipped school. So I don't know what made her think that I was just trying to ditch school randomly one day.
Yeah.
But I texted her and I was like, no, Mom, I'm serious. Like, please come get me. And she was just like, well, if it's that bad, you can call an ambulance, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, please come get me. What is your damage? And she's like, I can't believe this. Okay, I'm fine. I'm coming. You better be in so much freaking pain. She was so angry at me. And then she came to get me, and I'm walking down there are tears in my eyes. I mean, it was painful, and I was crying. And she's like, oh my God, you're serious? And I'm like, yes! Yes, I'm serious.
Good grief.
It's like, what? Why would I just try to randomly get out of school?
No, I would
halfway through
never.
The day anyway.
I would never do that in high school because it was always so much more work to try to make it up than to just miss it for the day. It was unbearable. So yeah.
And then the kicker part about all this is come my senior year. Again, never ditched school or anything. I was basically going to school while I was sick because I was a perfectionist and everything. And come my senior year, I never skipped school. And she was like, you can skip a day every now and then. What? And then I did end up skipping almost 2 weeks to watch Supernatural. And then she would come home and see I'm still home, and she would be pissed.
That's crazy.
Like, it was so back and forth. I'm like, what is going on? I just remember that. That was crazy. But I come out tears in my eyes. She's like, oh my God, you were serious? Yeah.
I didn't skip a day my senior year, but I also couldn't.
My friend went senior skip day.
I didn't have one.
Well, you were at a school, like
I had
a fancy school. Oh.
No, I just transferred to public school.
Oh. No, my friend, he had perfect attendance all 4 years he never missed a day.
I guess did I have technically perfect attendance my senior year? Well, I was homeschooled for half of it. Then I went to Chenango, and then COVID a week after that. And I went for that week, so.
He was the only one in our school during graduation. He got an award for perfect attendance all 4 years of high school.
I always had perfect attendance at OCC. Well, in our sign language classes, you guys made me skip that class like 2 times, though. Oh, it ate me alive.
You weren't learning anything important in that one.
No, I was not. No. I don't think that man even teaches at OC or at all. He comes into ACE, and he always says my name, and I always hate it. But someone started a petition in my class. She was like, will you sign this petition so that he cannot teach this class anymore? It was bad.
Bro, that's harsh.
It was really bad. To be fair.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
To this day, I've graduated high school over 10 years ago, and to this day, I still think about, should I sign a petition to get this man fired? My high school Spanish teacher, it haunts me, the fact that he taught students. There is a problem when 80% of your students either drop out or fail.
I hate when professors think
good
that they're
students
so cool and
are
they're
failing or dropping out of your class.
So dumb.
That's not on them. That is on you.
Yep.
And to this day, it haunts me. And I'm like, I don't know if he still teaches there or not, but he had tenure. They would I'm like, how do you get tenure? You don't even speak Spanish. He didn't even speak Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're speaking or when you're teaching another language, you're supposed to immerse the person in that. You're supposed to immerse your students in it. You're supposed to teach.
That was the best. It's the best way.
He never once spoke Spanish.
What?
Not once.
When I was in high school, the whole class would be in the whole thing.
Nope.
It was the best thing. Whoa.
Nope. Not a once did he speak in actual Spanish.
You want to go to Def Coffee with me?
You don't practice enough with me.
Okay, let's practice and then let's go.
Okay.
Because I keep getting texts asking to go.
Like someone specifically is asking you to go?
Yes, 2 or 3 people will text me and be like, "When are you gonna come?" It's been 3 years, and I'm like, I'm scared, and they're like, "It's okay."
You're killing me. I want to so bad, but my anxiety is just raging when it comes to that.
I know,
and then someone will
too.
sign something to me, and I'll just shut down, and then look like a total dweeb.
It's okay. I just try to pretend that I am a foreign exchange student, that I would interact with when I was in high school. I thought they were so cool. I didn't care if they messed up.
My only thing is, it's just frustrating knowing that there are so many different ways of every single person has their way of signing,
especially with age groups.
Yeah, I'm like, it's literally, it's the sound of a voice is the same with people's style of signing. Yes. Everyone signs differently a little bit. Well, when we were in school, we had a very small group. We got used to their signing styles, and Rebecca always made sure to sign very clearly and consistently. Most people don't do that. They either sign wicked fast, especially or they're
old.
Their signs are half formed because they're casually talking.
There's this lady on TikTok I got to send to you. We're friends on TikTok. She is an interpreter, and she signs so nicely, and it makes me feel really good about myself because I can understand her. But I have to send her to you because
please do.
She's really cool.
Yeah. Does Bill Vickers have
a TikTok?
That would be brilliant if he did.
I've seen clips of him on TikTok, but I don't know if he has one.
Someone's just taking his.
I think so. I've also been going through his alphabet on there, which is really useful.
On
his on lifeprint.com, his dictionary.
Yeah, I don't think
yeah.
Wait. No, that's Lifeprint. I don't know what that is.
That's his website.
That's his website?
Yep, that might be him.
70. Hey, no, that's not him. That's him. Nope, that's a. Never mind. No, he doesn't.
Okay. I didn't think he did. I haven't
parody
seen him
apps
on there.
and everything, and yeah. Okay.
But I've been going through his dictionary. At work, I'll just quiz myself. We're gonna go through A's.
I do have a really good app.
B's.
I have
a Handspeak or whatever. Or I've got a couple of apps.
Is it Handspeak?
But I think nothing beats Bill.
Sign ASL.
Oh yeah, I do think I have that one too.
Yeah, I like that one. Just a quick checkup on what is this word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I admit I'm horrible about studying and keeping up with it and everything, because that's the thing. I don't watch YouTube. I don't watch things. And that includes...
I follow so many people on TikTok just so that it comes up on my feed, and I make myself watch the whole thing multiple times if I had to until I understand it, and I'm like, okay, move on.
Most of the things that come across my feed are Simcom, and that does not help me.
Do you want to know something? I don't know how this happened on TikTok, but I guess I was just following a bunch of deaf creators, and then they started following me back, and there's a few that are I would say famous in the deaf community that follow where I'm friends with them on TikTok.
Hey.
I didn't even realize it because someone made a video that were the best deaf creators that you should follow, and they listed some guys or some people. This one guy, and he had commented thanks for mentioning me, and I saw it said friends, and I was like, wait, that's so cool.
That's awesome. Very exciting.
It's so fun. Anyway,
No, I definitely need to get better. I do want to practice. When we went to the concert and we were practicing a little bit, you hit me with some of the most normal, natural, and I just could not wrap my head around it. I was like, this is bad.
I've gotten kind of sloppy, I've noticed. What was I gonna say? Don't know.
I'll go with you eventually. I just gotta get more mentally prepared for it and just be okay with being terrible.
I've been getting into fights with people in TikTok comments about like hearing people teaching sign language on and when they like do like the music interpretations and stuff. I'll be getting into fights with people. So again, if you see me in TikTok comments.
Again, that goes back to being so self-consumed and so unself-aware. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to have an outrageously inflated sense of audacity and ego to do something like that. One, when you're not a professional at it, you're not fluent in it.
Yes.
And then two, to then ignore people trying to help you or correct you.
That's the thing.
What?
100% is crazy. I understand if, like, you see someone doing sign language who, like, recently it's like that sound from, like, the Fantastic Mr. Fox or whatever. I forget. It's like, he's just different or something like that. It's like some audio from the movie. Anyway, people have been doing sign language to it. And I get that if you see that and then you want to do it because you think it's cool and then you do it. But when half of the comments are like, don't do this. And then you're like, you're just hating. I'm like, huh? But those are the people that you should be listening to. Like when hearing people are like, I think this is great. She's learning. I don't see anything wrong with it. And then the deaf people are like, please don't do this. And then you choose to listen to the hearing people. I'm like, that's an interesting choice.
The entire point has been completely missed.
I responded to somebody the other day because they were just like, I don't see anything wrong with this. I think it's great that she's learning. And I said, why do you think you have a say? I said, are you deaf? Are you involved? Why? What gives you the right?
Yeah.
I mean, really.
What gives you any sort of authority? Like,
or some people think they know what they're talking about and they're like, guys, her signs aren't wrong. It's just a regional difference.
I did comment on someone who was posting about different languages and that, oh, I wish there was like a universal. Why don't we just have a universal sign language and then everybody can learn that? And I'm like, bro, if that was the case, why not everyone learn a universal spoken language? It's the same thing. That by that logic, it is the exact same thing. And I commented, I said, because language is a part of culture.
Yes.
And sign language is a language and they're all different cultures and everything. It is literally no different than a spoken language.
Yes. I don't know why people don't know that.
Yeah. If there's going to be a universal sign language, there's a universal spoken language. Like, just think for 2 seconds. Like, I don't know. People are
I just think it's so strange that people look at sign language and they're just like, I can do whatever I want. Like, what? This is a language.
Yeah.
You would not do that with anything else. And when people will be like, oh, I know sign language, and then they just know like ABC. Would you say the same thing about Spanish? I know Spanish.
Uno, dos, tres.
Like, yeah, right. And it's like, why is sign language getting so much disrespect?
Yeah.
Is it just because people don't know about it?
I genuinely.
It's crazy.
Well, the craziest part about it too is it's like this. It's the second most used language in America.
Wow.
I believe it's the second most used, and still people don't have any clue about it. And you know, I say that I had no clue. That's the thing, though. I had absolutely no clue about any of it. I didn't realize that there was an entire culture behind it. I didn't realize. I just thought it was okay if you can't speak English, then you use sign language. I didn't realize it was a whole thing. I had no idea until I went to school about it. So I have to. It's kind of that curse of knowledge. The curse of that. It's just like once you know something, you have a hard time wrapping your head around the fact that other people don't necessarily know that. And so I think I'm doing that right now. Like, how do you guys not know? I didn't know either.
Yeah.
But that's when you take the opportunity to listen to other people who do know better. You don't dismiss them.
Yes. No, it's crazy. I know. And some people would be like, oh, people are just hating. They're just trying to rain on your parade. It's like,
this is quite literally what learning is. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
I rambled on and steamrolled you again. Sorry.
Okay. I don't remember. Oh, people also think that it's like a lot more. I don't remember. I think I said this on here the one time. People think it's like a lot more service level of like a language, and I was like, I thought this was gonna be easier, and now I'm learning how to sign how a football flies through the air.
Yeah.
Because it has its own specific way of flying through the air.
Yeah.
It's like
it is.
It's so
hard.
In depth. It's so hard. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
There are so many. It's so
and then
deep.
That's the thing though, because like you said, a football has a very specific way of being signed because of the way it moves.
Yes.
Well, what makes sense to me, I'll do, and then Rebecca would shut me down because while it did make sense for it, that's not the language. That's not how
it's got
the
rules.
language,
It's got so many rules.
rules.
Remember when we had to take that silly? What was the class? Linguistics. No, was that it?
Yeah,
we had to learn about like all the rules, like the syllables, like how signs have syllables and like rhythm and speed and the movement and all the rules of it.
Yeah.
That was insane.
What is it? Like there's 5 different things. There's 5 categories of how to describe a sign.
How a sign's made. Hand shape, movement,
location.
Is facial expression one of them?
I think NMS.
And hand shape?
Direction?
Maybe.
I think direction because just like...
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so complex. It's so layered. And it's so interesting. Oh my gosh, is it interesting? I would love to go. I would love everything except interpreting. I would love to do it all over again. And linguistics. I would like to do it all again.
I know. I'm like having like a, I don't know, weird part of my life where I'm like, I want to do it again, but I don't want to be an interpreter.
Yeah.
So I
asked Rebecca at one point when I thought my schedule was going to work out a little bit better. I was like, can I basically audit your classes just to come and sit?
You asked her?
I asked her if I could just audit her classes. She's like, yeah, absolutely.
Wait, what? When did you ask her this?
Before the end of our class.
Oh, I thought you meant like recently.
No.
Well, because I want to do it right now.
I would love, I don't even want to go through the school. I don't want any, I just want to like, can I text Rebecca and say, hey, can I show up to class?
I'm sure she would say yes.
Probably.
We should.
We should.
I want to so badly.
I would prefer, can we go to that a couple times? Let's text her.
Okay.
And see if we could do that. Refresh our skills and then go to Def Coffee.
Okay. I'll be down. I would be embarrassed initially, but I'll be down for that. You have no idea. Well, I don't know why I started that sentence that way. I just miss doing it so much. Like when we graduated, I was just so on top of the world because I just felt like my skills were so at their peak.
Yeah.
And now it's been 2 years.
Mine are stilted now.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's really bad. I have to I was like, what do I want to say? How do I sign it? Then I have to think through each sign. Basically, the way I was signing would be if I was talking like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awful.
Yeah.
That's not how language works either.
No.
There's supposed to be some fluidity with it. Yeah, we definitely, we need to practice. We should do that. What do you got going on today? It's a nice enough day. I'm going to play tennis. Can we start playing tennis, please?
Right now?
I mean, they're in school right now, so I don't think we can go over to the tennis courts.
We have to wait until the school year is over. But I would like to play tennis this year.
Do we have to wait till the school year is over, or can we just this school day?
I think it's the school year.
Oh my god.
Because in session, right?
But it's spring, and by the time they're done, then
it'll
it's
be
hot.
I know.
Ugh. I haven't picked up a tennis racket in 8 years.
Eric and I played for 10 minutes last year. He hit himself in the nose, and he says that he has not been the same since. He's like, I can't breathe now. I've got this weird bump.
He deviated his system.
I don't know. I don't remember how he did it, but he just hit the corner of his nose, the corner of the racket on the bridge of his nose, and I don't know that he'll ever play again.
The year that I was on the boys team, the boys play at the country club, and the country club was garbage. Our hometown country club was just absolute trash. And our court was really tiny, and along the fence on the back, basically it's just like a bounce board.
Yeah.
It was a wooden board, and it was entirely too close. It was really small, really pathetic. Anyway, I'm playing against this guy, and I hit one really deep, and so he had to go running back for it. Well, as it's bouncing and it's coming up over top of him, he had to stick his racket out as he's running backwards. Basically, he had to stick his racket out. He's looking up over his shoulder, tracking the ball with the racket out in front of him. his racket hits that backboard, ricochets up, and the ridge of the racket hit the bridge of his nose and cut him. So it was this whole thing. I felt so stinking bad because I was the one who like deep lobbed it kind of thing. And lo and behold, like 2 years later, I was at Young Life Camp and I was on the swing, the 3-seater swing, and they take you up way high. And then I'm on that and I'm like going back and he's standing there in line and he's like, you! And I'm like, you! How's your nose? It's crazy. Scarred.
That's so funny. Yo, that reminds me of the time that I went to like what was it? The homecoming dance or something. I was like in 10th grade maybe. And I was like moonwalking and there was this guy who was a senior who I'd never met before and he was also moonwalking. And so we were like moonwalking back and forth and we never saw each other. And then it was like the seniors' last day of school and they do like this thing called the senior walkthrough, which I think this is the dumbest thing in the world, where like all the seniors will line up and create a tunnel basically.
Oh, that's awful.
And the people walk through and they just like sob.
That's so
But I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any seniors. I wasn't friends with seniors. So I'm just walking through and I see him. I'm like, you! And he's like, you! Yo, we were moonwalking together. And we're like telling the story. We like took a picture together.
That happened with me.
It was so dumb.
In my chemistry class, there was an upperclassman. I think I was a sophomore or junior and maybe he was a senior or something like that. But our first class of the day was chemistry, and our teacher she didn't teach anything, or she did and she knew nobody was listening to it because nobody cared.
Yeah.
But I'm in the back of the classroom and early in the morning I didn't get a chance to eat breakfast usually, so I would bring a container of cereal and a little carton of milk or something, and it was always Captain Crunch, whatever, his favorite cereal. We did the same thing. We would bring cereal to class and we like bonded over our love of cereal together. And at graduation, his graduation party, I bought him a big box of Cap'n Crunch.
That's awesome.
And gave that to him, and he was so excited about it. And then the next year, he like I said, he already graduated, but he found out when I was graduating, he sent me a card and it had like little Cap'n Crunch.
That's so cute.
It was so cute.
That reminds me of this. I don't remember what happened. I just remembered it was funny, but there was this teacher that we really liked. His name's Mr. Scott. And I don't remember what happened, but I had like a container of Cheerios at lunch. I spilled them or something. I don't remember what happened. We ended up like shaking them to summon him. Like, look, he's coming. And we'd like shake him, and he would just happen to walk by, like doing his like rounds in the cafeteria. Look, he's coming. We'd like shake the Cheerios really aggressively. Anyway, it was just like, it became like an inside joke with my friends. We found out when his birthday was, and I bought him a little container of Cheerios and I brought it to him.
Did he get it? Did he understand?
No, he wasn't in on the joke.
That's what I thought. I was like,
but I opened with, I wanted to say, look who it is. It's the birthday boy, but he's obviously not a boy. So I said, look who it is. It's the birthday man.
Oh.
And I handed him Cheerios. I'm like, because you love Cheerios. He goes, I don't. That was it. He doesn't like Cheerios.
So awkward.
It was awkward, but it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
He loved it.
I will say, no, going back to what we were thinking about before, that is one thing that I cannot stand. That's one thing I still to this day don't know how to handle. Being the butt of the joke.
Oh.
Like, how do you even function with that?
He just thought we were so dumb. Me and my friends. He was over us already.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, okay, thanks. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Do you want to hear about my toe?
Is it broken?
No. Okay. I don't think so. Okay, so for everybody who doesn't know, after we stopped recording last week, I went to pick up the
stand
that we keep the iPad on, and there was a potted plant on it, and it fell on my toe. And I was so angry, and it hurt so bad. And then it turned green. And then I was
gangrene green or bruised?
No, like
green?
when you saw it, like when that like it was just like green, like bruised.
Hey, I'm saying describe it for the people. I know what it looked like, but
you describe it.
No,
I don't know. It was green. I'll show you a picture of it. I'm not gonna show them.
Oh, speaking of pictures.
But the rest of that day I was okay. The next morning, it was bad. It was swollen like twice the size of my other toe. And I had to go to school. And I'm like walking around the house in the morning. I'm like, am I going to have to skip school. I didn't. I just walked like like pigeon. Is it called pigeon footed?
Yeah.
With my toes in all day. I like wrapped it in a makeshift splint with a Chipotle fork, and it hurt so bad. And at the end of the day, I had a chiropractor appointment unrelated to my toe, and my mom was like, I'm gonna ask him about it. I'm like, no, don't.
Oh dear.
Don't, because the doctor will just put it in a splint anyway. I'm just gonna splint it until it's okay. Don't. And she's like tattling me. She's like, Mary Grace thinks she broke her toe, and I'm like, come on, dude. So he pulls my dogs out, like both of them, to compare them. And he's like, you might have. He's like, I'll write you a prescription to.
There's really not much you can do
to
with
get
a
it
broken
X-rayed.
foot.
Yeah,
If you can walk on it, I mean,
it's fine now, but I'll show you. Okay, so please ignore. Like, you always have your toenails looking nice. Mine were not.
my toenails? No, they ain't.
Anyway,
They're gnarly.
I hit it here, but it bruised there too,
Yeah.
and like underneath the nail,
Yeah.
and it was swollen and disgusting.
Cute.
It was gross, but it's okay now. So anyway, he gave me a prescription. He was like, because I was like, shouldn't I wait a couple days at least? He's like, okay, wait until Monday, and if it's better, then go, and then don't. And so I didn't,
Yeah.
and it's been fine.
That's one of those things. There's really, it's like a broken
so
rib.
bad.
Well, I guess if you break your metatarsals, there's nothing they can do for that other than you stay off of it to keep them from shifting around if they're fractured or
I
something.
think my
like that,
toenail
but-
might fall off.
Oh, hey, no, I don't think that's bad. I remember I slammed my thumb in the door when I was car shopping, and it had like one of those blood blisters underneath the nail.
Oh, those are
And
so
that-
nasty.
it
Did
caused-
you pop it?
Well, that's
Like,
why
poke it?
I texted my cousin, who's now a doctor, because it was underneath the nail, and the only way to do that is to actually like take a needle, burn through it,
Yeah.
but the pressure was so ridiculous because of it. So I did. I sent him a picture of it, and he was just like, "No, that's not big enough to really warrant bleeding it." But that pressure was really rough. And that's the thing. It really pissed me off. I slammed my thumb in the door. It was raining that day. I'm car shopping for a car that I didn't want because my car was recalled.
Mm.
I liked my car. I wanted to keep it, but it got recalled. So I was just on all fronts. I was just really irritated, and then slamming my thumb in the car door, just cherry on top. I was like, I don't want to be here. I did one loop in one car, and I'm like, nope, I don't like it. I'm leaving. Bye. I was so annoyed.
My
But
mom
speaking
got
of
a new
pictures,
car.
so I went to get my passport. Did I talk to you about
I got
that?
my passport recently as well.
Did I talk to you about that?
No.
Okay, so I've always wanted to go to Scotland, and I told myself I was going to take myself to Scotland for my 30th birthday. Well, lo and behold, I'm 29. I'm currently living my 30th year.
Yes.
So I told my mom I wanted to do that for my birthday, and so she calls me up. She's like, "Do you still want to do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I still want to do that." She's like, "Well, I'm going to
You
get
gotta do that?
She was like, I'm going to get your aunt on it because my aunt is a connoisseur at international travel. She's traveled everywhere and she knows all the deals and everything. So she immediately starts looking into it. She calls me and she's like, I got in contact with this person and this flight is this time and this, that, blah, 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 blah. So I'm texting. I'm like, are you talking about like for this year? She's like, yeah, if we want a good price, we have to do it in June, as in like 2.5, 3 months from now. I was like, okay. Wasn't really prepared for that. Hadn't even started planning it, but like whatever. So we were going to go in June, and I was like, that's really soon. And so I had to like hurry up and start getting my passport and everything ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, then right after I scheduled my appointment to get my passport and whatever, my mom calls me up and she's like, well, now your dad caught wind of doing this and he kind of wants to go. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. But like, that's a lot more planning. 4 people now instead of just the original one.
Yes.
And then I was like, okay, I guess I'll take my mom with me. And then she put my aunt on it and now my dad. And I was like, okay, this is requiring a whole lot more planning and everything. And she was like, let me talk to your dad for a minute. She talks to him. She comes back and she's like, would you be disappointed if we waited till next year? And I'm like, I wouldn't be disappointed, but it has to happen next year. I told myself for my 30th birthday, and I'm in my 30th year. So I was either going to do it this year, or if we waited till next year, I would be 30. There's no other options. It's either this year or next year. If we put it off, start planning, like make sure it happens.
Yeah.
Other than my grandmother dropping dead the day we are supposed to be leaving, we're going to Scotland. And I told her, I was like, if we don't go, if you guys fool around and do something that makes it not possible, I will light you on fire. I'm going to Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, long story short, long story long, whatever. I go get my passport done. And depending on where you go, I guess it changes whether or not you're allowed to smile for these things. Because where I went, you're not allowed to smile.
Right.
My friend Natalie went. She said that they made her
I
smile.
don't even think it depends on where it is. I think it depends on who's working.
Yeah.
Because my sister had hers done in Fayetteville. my mom and I went to my sister was not allowed to smile. She could do like a smirk at most, and she had have her hair very specifically like behind her back so that her ears were out.
Didn't get that.
I didn't get any of that, and I was like, should I smile? She was like, yeah, if you want to. And I did.
So, yeah.
But it was at the same place is my point.
I went to one where they, oh yeah, you're allowed to do a little smirk, but you can't show teeth.
Yes.
And of course, they take you to this like little back room with a blank wall. They don't have a mirror, so you can prep or anything. Like, I did my hair and makeup all nice and good, but then I can't prep to make sure that it's laying nice or that, I don't. So I just kind of luck of the draw kind of thing. And he was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, boom, there goes. And yeah, I do have it. Look at this mugshot.
Is it good?
I got the Invader Zim going on.
Oh, no, it's great. Oh, my God, you look great. Are you kidding?
Thank you.
You look like a model.
It's a mugshot, and I got the Invader Zim
I think
eyes.
it's great.
Look at my Invader Zim eyes.
No, I think they are exactly the same size. I'm looking at them right now, and my brain is drawing parallel lines. They are the same size.
No, they are not. You are, in fact, incorrect.
They're the same size.
Blind.
They're the same size.
No, they're not.
You look great.
Thanks.
It's really good.
I always look great.
Mine's really bad.
But no, they are, in fact, two totally different sizes.
No.
Yeah, that is embarrassing.
I have never cared about what I look like for a driver's license photo or a passport photo, so...
Passport I'm not too concerned about.
Well, why do I care?
Person.
Because no one's going to see it.
That's it. It's the one person who doesn't care, and they're just like, oh, yeah, that's you. Okay, bye. Driver's license, however, is a little bit more.
Yeah, you have a great driver's license photo, too. Mine stinks, but I don't care because I don't show it with anybody.
My first driver's license photo was fantastic, to the point where I actually had people specifically say, wow, that's a good photo. But then when I went to get my enhanced license, I thought they would just, because my old one was really new, but I needed the enhanced one to get into Canada. And so I thought they would just take the picture and transfer it over. And they're like, no, we have to do it. And I was like, didn't know that. My hair is up. My face is shiny.
No, it's cute.
It's a bad time.
It's cute.
Did I talk about this before? I don't remember. But either way, I am not insecure enough in my... Okay. Got cut off there. What? Oh. Got cut off. Our iPad died. And we don't have great luck with technology in the slightest.
Nope.
But anyway, what I was saying was that I am not insecure enough to think that I am not pretty, but I'm not photogenic at all.
Yeah,
as my one license,
I think that you are.
Well, I appreciate that, but you're wrong. No, I don't know. I just have to take 10,000 pictures before I get one that actually looks good. That I don't have the Invader Zim eyes going on.
I think everybody has a little bit of Invader Zim, but I really don't think you have a lot at all.
I feel like mine are noticeable enough to right off the bat notice them.
I've never noticed.
You're incorrect. I'm telling you. My passport photo has two drastically different.
It's because it's flipped. No one would notice it except for you because you're not used to seeing it like that.
Were we recording?
We're gonna go for a whole nother hour.
Yeah, we are.
It's too easy not to.
Were we recording when I mentioned? Wow. Wait.
Yeah, I am.
What were we? Okay, we were talking about something about the pictures. Oh, that's right. Were we recording when I mentioned the fact that usually if I take a picture and it looks really bad, I just need a little bit of time away from it, and then I'll come
we
back.
Talked about in real life.
Okay, we talked about that in real life. As if this is not. Yeah, if I take a picture and my friend is just like, oh yeah, that's good, and I look at it, I'm like, no, that's actually garbage. Or I took a selfie the other day just because the lighting was really good, and I looked at the selfie and I was like, oh no, that's actually garbage. I went to delete it, but of course it didn't delete it. And then when I went to actually delete my recently deleted, I looked at it again and I was like, oh, it actually isn't that bad. I just need to remove myself from the picture just a little bit.
Perspective.
Yeah, I just need a little time away, and then I come back to it and I'm like, oh, okay, I can actually realize it is okay. I was just being too harsh on myself. Well, I've had a few days to sit with this passport photo, and it ain't good.
It's good. It's good.
It's not atrocious. It's okay for me to...
Do you want to show the people?
It's okay for a official photo that only one person at a time is going to see for a quick 1 second. I'm going to show them if you can see it from here. If you can see it from here.
Why do they give people a copy of it?
I don't know. They handed it to me. They're just like, we don't really need, like, that's for you in case something happens and we need to something.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, it's just for your records. And I put it in my phone case, and I have yet to remove it from my phone case. So that's why I
like
have
you're
it.
dating yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's great.
It's a mugshot.
Mine's really bad. So, but I don't care.
All right.
Why would I?
Yeah. It's nobody's, like you said, nobody's
It's
gonna
great.
see it.
You look like Barbie, bro.
Thank you. A very basketball headed Barbie.
Oh my gosh.
I do have a very
Oh, cut it out.
rotisserie head.
Rotisserie.
I have a rotisserie head.
Good grief.
But I'm pretty.
You are.
You and your sister are so freaking gorgeous.
Enough.
No, they've got their senior photos or something over here.
Yeah, it's our senior photos.
Gorgeous.
I'd like to have a more recent photo taken, but I think I'd hate it. So,
Like, yeah, they are unnaturally pretty. Naturally, unnaturally pretty.
whatever that means.
I said it. It matters. It works. And on that note, us two pretty people, we're gonna go. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
We have actual work to do because we're professionals. Now I can't stop looking at the screen now that it's turned back around.
Me too.
We had it the other way and we weren't looking
I
at ourselves.
know.
Now we're
But
looking
then
at
the
ourselves.
iPad died and now I can't stop looking at it. Oh, I don't
Yeah.
have my pants. I'm wearing pants.
No, she wasn't. She put it
I
on
am.
recently.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, now we will talk. I said it once before, but we were talking to nothing because we got cut off. But
That's so
now,
embarrassing to think about.
well, at least we had most of it.
No, we did have most of it.
For a second
Thank
there, we
God.
couldn't find it. We're pretty sure we were just talking to air and into microphones for an hour and a half for
Isn't
no
that
reason.
funny? Isn't that great?
We're very good at this. Talking to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.